Hello and welcome to another Happy Pod, the spookiest podcast of the year because it is our Halloween special. My name is Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, a rapist, a spooky goblin ghoul, the worst person you will ever know, Lawrence Hisey. Hello, how are you?
Thanks. Once again, I'm dusting off the censored sound effects.
Great, no one cares. So this
off.
is the show where we talk about movies, pop culture, everything else going on in that realm, but try to do so without the ongoing toxic discourse and just be a bit more positive generally. But we don't always succeed at that. We do have a good time doing it, though, don't we, Lawrence?
No, not anymore. We don't. We're having a sour, bad time.
And whose fault's that?
No, I forget that you do that to me every week, and I shouldn't forget because you do it to me every week, and I even got you back by doing it to you last week or the week before or whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Did you say all the stuff? Did you say all the happy stuff?
Yeah, I said everything I need to say.
You're staring. For people that can't see, which is everyone but me, Nathan's just staring at me. I don't like it.
I'm not staring at you.
You're like, I said everything I need to say with your eyes. You said more through that stare is what I'm saying.
I'm just looking at you. Do you want me to not look at you?
Yeah, avert your eyes.
All right.
No, I don't like that. That's so much worse. I don't like that.
I'm gonna look at the wall now.
For the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's fine. We didn't have an episode this Friday, so if you looked, we're very sorry. We had technical problems.
You had technical problems. I was fine.
It's true. My Wi-Fi, for some reason, just decided... I mean, it's bad on the best of days, but it was unbearably bad, so...
No one cares.
No, they don't. They don't. But we're here now.
Yeah.
We're here now. Anyway, this is the Halloween special. It's being released on Halloween, so that's something. That's the saving grace of the technical problem.
I guess.
Which means you have a 1-day limit to listen to it.
You have less time to listen to it. That's so great.
The movie still exists.
Well, yeah. I guess you can wait until next year.
You don't exclusively enjoy like Halloween stuff on Halloween, like movies.
1st of November. From the 1st of November, it's officially Christmas.
Do you believe that? I feel like you don't believe that.
Why would you feel like I don't believe that?
Well, I've had my Christmas tree up at like mid-November before, and you've been like, "That's ridiculous."
It is ridiculous.
Are you still looking for a Christmas tree?
No, I found one. I just need to buy it.
How much is it?
£100.
That's not bad. Pretty reasonable. All right. We're continuing our tradition, which this is the continuation of. I think we've already had this conversation, haven't we? This makes it a tradition now because we've cemented it. We posed the idea of a tradition, but now we've stuck to it.
Yeah.
So you've got one word reserved for this podcast. It's just a lot of yes from you today.
That is what happened, Lawrence. Yes.
Thanks, Nathan.
We watched a movie last year, and now we decided to watch the sequel this year. Next year, we'll watch the sequel to this one.
You're a salty boy today.
Check your Amazon gift basket.
Oh, for the love of God, fucking hell. Right, for context, Nathan has told me he's done something stupid. I don't know what it's been, and it's made me annoyed, and I don't know what's happened. And now he's waited until now to tell me this. What is this? Oh, for the love of God. Fuck's sake.
Look at the quantity.
Wait. Oh my God. For fuck's sake. The worst thing is you've done it here, so I have to tell people what this is now.
No, you don't.
I've got to. This is great. Is this because do you know, I was nice. I gave you my password again so that you could watch the movie that I paid for. And this is how you betray me. Nathan has added, for fuck's sake, Nathan has added to the tune of, what's the amount? £133.90. 5 realistic dildo for women, realistic suction cup, massive anal dildo for women, men, pleasure, soft TPE dildo, adult sex toys with balls for G-spot, prostate play, large dildo, 26.5 centimeters, 10.43 inches, black.
It's a thick and veiny boy.
What I like especially about it, and I'm sorry if you came here to listen to movies, is that there's just a kind of an outline of a hand of where you would grasp this dildo for use.
Just to give you a diagram.
He's also added only one.
One's all you need.
One's all you need. Is some fist lube to the tune of £21.96.
You need 5 giant black dildos,
Yeah.
but you only need one.
What am I doing with 5 of them at once, at one time?
What you do with them is not none of my concern.
Nostrils. All right, yeah, I do have a question for you, and this one is actually and also here's the theme song for it as well. Another happy question. There we go, natural. So the movie brings up the unusual debate that sequels cannot be better than the originals, and planned trilogies are stated not to count towards. Do you agree with this? I think it's odd. You know, in the movie they bring up the point where they're like, sequels are not.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get what you're asking.
yeah.
Do you want me to answer now? Because usually we wait.
We wait.
Yeah, exactly. But it seemed like you was waiting for
I was
an
just
answer.
providing a little bit of clarification, and then we were going to move on. You're not the only person here that needs to understand, Nathan. This is a relationship we have with listeners, and maybe they didn't get it. Right, Scream 2. Had you seen it before?
I thought I had,
Yeah.
but I don't think I had now.
Was it one of them, like, maybe you had it on for in the background or for, like, a
Yeah,
minute?
possibly. But then, like, when I was actually watching it this past week, or, like, last week, whenever we were supposed to actually record the episode, I was like, a lot of this is brand new.
I was a bit apprehensive, because I'd heard that the other ones aren't... I heard that they go downhill, but I disagree. I think this is actually better than the first one. And I love the first one.
Alright. I don't know. I don't think it's better than the first one.
Okay.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's fun, but yeah, I don't necessarily think it's as good as the first one. I don't think that's bad though. Like,
No, yeah.
that's not a bad thing.
That's the quality of the first Scream, though, because the first Scream is like, I think I listened back to the podcast. We both absolutely loved it,
Yeah.
and it was like you're not a massive horror fan, are you?
Yeah.
I would, yeah, I wouldn't say I am, and I think this is like an easily accessible thing. It's not like scary for the sake of scary. It's also one of the few horror movies that isn't just like steeped in. There's a witch, and the witch there's an exorcism, and there's not a load of other shit going on. It's quite literally a guy with a knife runs around and kills people, and it's really super fun to watch.
Sometimes 2 guys with a knife.
Yeah, sometimes two, sometimes more. We'll get there.
Sometimes they have a gun.
So sometimes, at one point, I did think to myself, it'd be so much quicker if Ghostface didn't commit to the idea of a knife, and then at the end, I was like, see, I told you, basically, even though it still doesn't work out.
It's more fun with a knife though.
No, I like this. I thought this is a hard movie, I think, naturally to continue from.
Did you like Sexiest Man Alive, Cobb Vanth, showing up
Yeah.
and being young and sexy?
Right, so yes, I did.
Timothy Elephant himself.
Yeah, I liked him in this. He looks way too old to be in college. I'll say that.
I mean, they all do.
Yeah, no, but him is.
They all look at least 40.
It doesn't help that
but-
he's like 6'5" as well. Like he especially doesn't look like it. Maybe it's because I know the career he's gone on to have. I don't know if he was a big name at this point. Was he? Do you know?
I don't know.
But maybe it's because I know what career he's had. As soon as I saw him, I went, it's likely him, isn't it? But I do think the movie goes out of its way to like you said in the first one, every time that you start to suspect someone, the movie knows you're suspecting them, and then it starts to draw on that as well.
Well, thanks for bringing that up, because that was another point that I was going to make. Once again, much like the first one, when you start to suspect someone, I don't know if you know this, but the movie will then start to suspect them too.
I credited you. I'm repeating what you said last year. How was I know you're going to bring it up again? You shouldn't recycle points, Nathan. I was paying homage to your point. I think there's some good stuff, because who is there in this? There's the new cameraman. There's Sydney's new boyfriend, who's hot on the scene. What other new people are in this?
There's Sydney's friend, her new friend, her roommate or whatever.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole bunch of fraternity / sorority. I don't know how fraternities and sororities work. They seem so weird.
I feel like it's a job, but then also like it's a privilege to be there. I don't understand it.
I don't think it's a job.
No, but it's like a tough selection thing. But then you also have like roles. Like one of them is like the driver, the designated driver for the evening, so she's not allowed to go out or something.
That's not a job though.
No, but like she seemed bummed out about it. I wouldn't want to go to college and then have someone say you can't come out.
That's just a thing though, isn't it?
But yeah, like when you're older, but you just it's not. I forget we went to uni in London. Everyone just got the tube everywhere. No one drove.
This is
anywhere.
America. fucking they can't go more than 10 feet without driving.
Where are you at with it? So it's not as good as the first one to you, but that doesn't make it bad. So what
No,
doesn't...
it's good. It's a good movie. It's enjoyable. I like all the people in it. Sydney's great.
Yeah.
Ghostface is great. Second Ghostface is great. Fucking
Second.
Gail. Monica from Friends is always great.
Yeah.
I like that there's the movie Stab, which
Yeah.
is just Scream.
Yeah. Down to Drew Barrymore's haircut as well.
I like the opening scene where everyone's at the cinema and there's just, it's almost like, you know, when you see footage of like the Phantom Menace premieres,
Yeah.
and everyone's just running around with lightsabers and all in costume,
Yeah.
and just, it looks fucking insane. And so I would hate,
Yeah.
I cannot stress enough how much I would hate going to watch a movie and everyone's just throwing popcorn. And they're running around chasing each other with knives and everything. And then the movie starts, and they're still, like, out in the lobby, like, getting popcorn and shit. Like, do you not know how this works?
No, I whenever I see like and this one's like, it's especially egregious, but whenever I see like a movie, a scene where characters go to the movies, I'm like, that's terrible. That's awful. And also there's seemingly no rules, because there's parts where like people are cheering and screaming or just chatting to that guy, and then like people are shushing her, but then like people are cheering at like wide shots of nothing, and I'm like, what are the rules here?
Also, why does this movie have so much hype?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a movie about a killing that happened the previous year, and it's not based on anything apart from a book which was written by a reporter, which couldn't have been that interesting.
For them to love this film as much as they like seemingly do, you would have had to have argued that they would have seen it before.
Well, that, or it would be like a sequel to like a long, like
I don't think it
again,
is.
like Star Wars. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. It's just brand new.
It's very bizarre.
It is.
It's effective though. I'll tell you what, like the one thing that I got from it, it's a really cool like theme, and obviously like everything in Scream 1 was so meta and like making a point about so many fucking things. What I like about this is how like it completely is trivializing horrific events for entertainment, which is what the movie in itself is doing. Yeah. Like the franchise itself is actually doing that. And it's, you know, like to the point where everyone's cheering as Jada is like up on the screen dying. She gets stabbed in a room with like 200 people. No one notices because everyone's too busy cheering at someone fake getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think it's like I said a second ago, this movie is a Scream 1 is a hard movie to follow, especially because it's literally kind of just the same shit wrapped differently.
I think whilst all that stuff was happening, the opening scene in the movie theater, I couldn't help think about like what's happening recently and the kind of conversation that's been happening around with like, I don't know if you've watched like Netflix's Dharma with Evan Peters and stuff, and the kind of the glorification of serial killers and true crime and all that sort of shit at the expense of the victims and the victims' families, who are clearly struggling and who have been extremely traumatized and are still being traumatized and triggered by this new media that's released.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happens with like Sydney in this, like a fucking movie about the most traumatic shit that has ever happened to her is coming out, and everyone's just like, yes, let's fucking go.
And people want to be her friend because of it. Like people just want to get close to her because of the name she has rather than like who she is. And she has no time for that. I know what you're saying about it, because it's especially with that Dharma thing. Like it seems that like the victims' families weren't approached about this, and it just seems very much like you're seeing fucking like fan cams of Evan Peters as Jeffrey Dahmer on like TikTok and shit, and I'm like,
you don't do that.
Yeah, no, just just not even a joke here. Just flat out don't do that. It's gross. But yeah. So I like that it opens straight away with that, which I think is quite effective. So something else I like Randy now that he's in his natural environment in a film class with a bunch of other nerds about films.
I cannot tell you how much I hated that film class. I was like, I want to kill everyone in that room. Yeah. All of them are just the most You're right. He is in his element.
Yeah.
He is surrounded by pretentious fuckheads. I hate every second of that.
What I liked, and it does seem like less of a fish out of water, because in the first movie he was like the movie framed him as that weirdo that loves movies and can only communicate through, like Arbed in Community, like that. And it was like, after a while, it just got a bit stale for me. So in this one, I like that there's an ongoing conversation. It puts him more into it. And I really started to like him. And then I figured out why the movie wanted me to really start liking him as well. Because he dies. Because he dies. He meets his demise.
He gets killed.
Yeah. What do you think of the whole... Was Liev Schreiber, mentioned in the first one?
See, this is the thing. I did not watch Scream before I watched this movie. I said I was gonna, and I probably should have, but I didn't.
Same here.
So the last time I watched Scream was a year ago, okay? And then I watched this, and then, Liev Schreiber was on TV, and he was like, oh, look, I just got out of prison. I forgive Sydney for everything. And I'm like, what is going on here? What is this? Is this new? Did something happen that I missed? Was he in the first movie? Apparently he was.
So
I just missed it and forgot about it.
I think the premise of him is that he was sent to jail for being the lead suspect for killing Sydney's mum, right?
Yes. But that was actually Billy and Billy's boyfriend.
Did Billy kill the mum as well?
I think it was... maybe? I think it was Billy and Billy's boyfriend who killed the mum.
Yeah.
I think.
This is all stuff that's in Scream 1. You can listen. You can watch Scream 1, or you can go and listen to our podcast on Scream 1, where we definitely know this, but we don't now.
Yeah, Sydney was haunted by her mother's death, but eventually discovered the truth that Maureen really did sleep around, and that she was killed by Billy and Stu shortly after Cotton had sex with her. So there we go.
Yucky.
She was killed by Billy and Billy's boyfriend.
Gross.
Why is that gross? What's gross about a man having a boyfriend?
No, the killing part, Nathan. I'm completely for their relationship. I just wish that they didn't murder people during their time together.
A bit offensive as well.
Oh, come on now. Character-wise, this one of the things I remember us liking a lot was the kind of back and forth between Dewey and Gale.
Yes.
That's tenfold in this movie, and it's really fun to watch.
See, I know that Dewey is in later movies, so when I saw him get quote-unquote killed, I was like, oh no, does this mean he's part of it? I don't want that to happen.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Because I knew that he's in another movie.
Yeah.
So I was going through a weird mixture of heartbroken, suspicious, and also just downright pissed off.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want anything bad to happen. But no, I like Dewey and Gale together. They are cool. I don't know, there's something about Courtney Cox's just straight up bitch attitude, which is very fun to see. She's very good at it.
But she is good at it. But the walls, what I kind of liked seeing was a different side of her in this, where the walls do actually start breaking down, and she's like, and it's not like it would have been so easy to play it for she's falling in love. She is developing a connection with Dewey, but it's more just I'm getting actually really fucking sick of people murdering people.
No, married.
Are they married in real life?
They was for a long time. They got divorced in 2013 or something, but they was married for quite a while.
Oh wow! I mean, that's the where the chemistry comes from then, clearly, because that's Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it sucks that they're divorced unless one of them is terrible. Again, good for whoever was not terrible. The nature of their relationship, how it progresses, I think it ties her into the central theme of she is also glorifying horrific shit for fucking fame.
Well, she wrote the book.
Yeah, exactly. And she's one of the main reasons that Sydney is having a really fucking shit time of it.
And she gets clocked again, so that's fun.
Yeah, I really hope, because one of the unfortunate things of a new Scream movie coming out semi-recently is that I know certain people are in it. And I know that... I almost don't want to say in case you don't know.
What I know the Scream franchise is that it's pretty much Sydney... although I don't think she's in all of them, but Sydney, Gale, and Dewey versus Ghostface throughout all of them.
Yeah.
But Ghostface is 65 different people.
Yeah, basically. And they all have the same Amazon wish basket, because they all have the same costume, the same cloaks. Speaking of Ghostface, one thing that I loved in this, and it's one of the most amazing things that a sequel has launched on from something that happened in the previous movie. I love the the argument of like, well, you've never seen me and Batman in the same room together, so I could be Batman, blah blah blah. When you see Ghostface do something and someone's there in a normal slasher movie, that eliminates that person from being a suspect.
Not in Scream.
Exactly, because in the first one there was obviously two. So anytime I was thinking about those certain things, I was like, well, that doesn't mean shit actually, because maybe they're all Screams, maybe they're all little ghost faces apart from Sydney.
Yeah.
No, which is I just like how that's like it utilized what it did in the first one and then completely ran with that. One thing that we've spoken about before is Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's gun. I think we spoke about that last week.
Potentially.
Maybe the week before.
And I think I spotted one in this because you defined it for me a bit more clearly than what I thought it was. And I think I got one.
Which was?
So if something is introduced, you would be under the assumption
specifically a gun.
Yeah, specifically a gun. Always a gun.
It has to be a gun.
No, it doesn't. That's not what you said.
If it's not a gun, it doesn't.
No, that's not what you said. It's only if it's Chekhov's gun himself.
It's Chekhov's gun. Chekhov shows up and goes, "This is my gun," and then he puts it down on
Here
the
it
table.
is in the first act.
And then in the third act, he walks in and goes, "Hello, I am Chekhov. I'm here to pick up my gun."
I'm here to pick up my gun.
Shoots someone.
You have seen it now, which therefore renders this not a Chekhov's gun. Sure. So that is my vague understanding of it, which you kind of corrected and put me on the path for. I don't know if this counts, so I wanted to ask you. I think there is a literal Chekhov's gun in this from the dead cop that was on top of the car that crashed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because his gun was on the fucking. I was thinking about that when that whole car sequence was happening. I was like, just get the gun.
Yeah.
It's on the fucking windshield.
Yeah.
Grab the gun and just shoot him.
Also,
pop one in his head.
I understand like Sydney's reasoning behind like, I'm not going to open his mask. I don't need to know who it is. I just need to fucking live. Right? People that investigate too much die.
Not me. I want to know.
I want to know, but before I do any of that, I'm just going to break his neck, and then I'm going to know.
Yeah.
Is that not smarter?
I mean, it is, but I feel like that's also kind of a lesson she learns, though.
Yeah.
Because then at the end of the movie, like, he is fucking... or she, I guess, is on the floor dead. Cobb Vanth's mum is on the floor dead.
Yeah.
And then she just puts one in her brain. Just
she does the Sydney double tap.
Yeah, she does. She does the double tap. And then it was very funny when Cobb Vanth just popped up again.
Yeah.
And just immediately got put down.
Oh, it was like a minigun shredding through him. They went off on him.
Just Sydney and Gale just straight up unloading into him.
No, I love that.
But before, I don't think that was technically a Chekhov's gun, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I think it would be introduced too late in the game for it to be that.
But the idea at a principle is still something paid heavy attention to and then not brought up, right?
Yeah, yes, possibly. I'm not sure if it was paid heavy attention to though. But
right.
Yeah, I don't know. Grey area.
To be honest, by the end of the third act, everyone's got fucking guns and no one knows where they're from.
Yeah, it's true.
They just all have a gun.
Yeah.
So like something last year that I think we paid too much attention to. I don't know. Maybe it is like an ongoing little joke that Wes Craven is having. So I said last year it was the principal threatening his students with scissors in the midst of a slasher murder spree. This year it's the detective being asked where the safe house is, to which he replies, "If I tell you, I'm gonna have to kill you." Maybe don't say that to Sydney as she's being escorted to a safe house because someone's trying to kill her.
First of all, I have no memory of the principal thing whatsoever. Second of all, what you're saying about the safe house thing and the cops taking it there, that was like the exact moment that I started to suspect the cop. And again, this is exactly what the movie does. It was the exact moment I go, "Ooh, that's a bit weird." And then what happens? Boom, Ghostface comes in and just kills them both. Like, oh, okay,
never mind then.
Cool.
Yeah,
yeah. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. The principal was he was the principal of the school, and all of the kids were dicking around pretending to be little ghost faces, and he.
Oh, it was Henry Winkler, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was Fonzie.
And right afterwards, he goes out and speaks to Freddy Krueger or something, the janitor.
No, I don't remember Freddy Krueger. But
This is so
was
bizarre.
he actually Freddy Krueger? Was he dressed as?
He was
Freddy
dressed as
Krueger or
Freddy
something?
Krueger. This is bizarre to me because the other day I was listening to a Nathan that knew quite a lot about this movie, having it fresh in his mind, and now it's like I remember
It's been a whole fucking year.
It has been a year. It has.
A lot's happened in the past. We've had 4 different prime ministers since then, probably.
I think
Probably another 6 before the time this episode goes out.
Yeah, it's true. That's overnight. One thing I groaned at, and again, this was me jumping the gun at the movie being pessimistic, but the movie proving me wrong. I groaned at the whole blame the movie violence reasoning thing. When Mickey is revealed to be when Timothy Elephant is revealed to be the killer, or one of them at least, the first one, and his whole thing is we'll blame the movies, dude. Like we'll there's too much violence in the movies these days, makes people go crazy. And I was like, I genuinely was like, this movie is better than that. And then the movie were like, no, fuck that, we're taking the piss. Don't worry about it. But yeah, completed his pretentious, annoying film bro arc, which I quite liked. Reminded me a lot of the the people that have the Patrick Bateman American Psycho like profile pictures on Twitter, those kind of people.
We should do an episode on American Psycho. Because American Psycho is one of those odd movies, and it's I feel like it's in the same vein as Fight Club, where it's actually a good movie. And it actually has critiques and stuff to say about these kind of people. The problem is, these kind of people watch it and go, oh, so cool. Like, no, you're missing the point, my guy.
Yeah, and then like the glorification of it. Like, it's Fight Club and American Psycho are both making strong cases against why violence is dumb.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, I love it, just fucks him up. Wouldn't my guy Brad Pitt wouldn't do that.
American Psycho in particular is... I find it fascinating that people watch that movie and cannot tell that it's satire.
Yeah.
And they just cannot tell that Patrick Bateman is someone you shouldn't aspire to be and look up to. It's so fucking crystal clear.
I mean, he's a deranged murderer, or is he? Like, how would you go, that guy seems like he's got it all sorted out.
This seems like a cool guy. I want to be this guy.
Don't get me wrong. He's got a nice business card. He's in shape and his skin looks great. But maybe leave it at that. What was I going to say? I did like the with Randy in his film class. There are more meta moments to this now. Or at least they're easily accessible. He has a fun moment where he says, in a sequel, you should do this, and if you want a franchise, you should absolutely never, and then it just cuts off. Just never find out what was said.
That was good. I did enjoy that.
I thought that was fun, and also like they would have had to wait a while for that to pay off. That's a move. That's a line and a gag that was made for people like us who are rewatching it 20 years later.
This was made very quickly. This movie,
really.
Yeah, it came out like less than a year after the first one.
Something that we spoke about last year and what we liked was the there's a lot of just kind of fucking stumbling around. There's a lot of Ghostface tripping over, clumsy, like he like trying to break windows and he just can't break the window with like a chair. It's like it's not cold. Like you get a I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Halloween movies.
I have.
It's like the Michael Myers is like he's cold and calculated, and he kind of just seemingly is like invincible.
Yeah.
It's none of that. It's like you smack a ghost face, it's gonna fucking hurt.
This is just a silly, goofy guy.
Yeah.
Just running around. You almost like it. It's a shame that he never actually talk, or they never actually talk as Ghostface.
Yeah.
Like the only talking they do is actually on the phone. But it's almost a shame that they never actually talk as Ghostface, because then you just get like a fuck.
Yeah, bollocks, that fucking hurt.
Yeah.
What with his voice? You mean like the voice changed voice?
Yeah,
that would be good.
That'd be very good.
What's your favorite scary? Fucking balls! Jesus.
Exactly.
No, I like that'd be good. But yeah, so, I think with that note, you get in this, you get some really like well-made ghost face sequences, like the inside the college. I believe it is inside. Yeah, it is inside the college. when Dewey has been quote unquote murdered. And Ghostface is just kind of stalking Gale, and it's like almost like a stealth, like a Spider-Man PS4 stealth mission where you're Mary Jane just running around.
Yeah.
I love that kind of shit, and I think the direction in that is like it's so clean. It's like I don't know if you picked up on this. There's almost like a Western musical fanfare. Dewey walks into frame, and it kind of paints him as like this kind of like Lone Ranger type figure. He walks in, there's a kind of an unmistakable Western like doo-doo-doo kind of situation, and he has he doesn't even have a gun or anything, but he has his finger out, and it's kind of pointed like a gun. Like it's so bizarre, and I don't know if it was just like a fun little thing, but I just thought like there's a little moment like that, and I thought it was really fucking cool.
Okay, no, didn't notice that at all.
That's fair. I almost didn't, to be fair. Yeah, and that, like those kind of sequences, stealth wise, I think it's interesting because a lot of what we got in the first one is kind of, you know, it's the horror is in what's not there. Like, is he behind that door? Oh, thank God, no, he's not. Oh, but he's behind that fucking room or whatever. Whereas in this,
Behind that room.
yeah, he's I can see him through the wall.
Don't go behind that room. He's there.
But in this, he's stalking, like he's creeping about, and it makes it way more like deadly, in my opinion, which I thought was sick.
One thing, this isn't really any kind of point, but just a funny thing to know. That college, whatever college that is, Fake College USA, has the most well-funded theatre department I have ever seen. What was going on with that play, man?
It's mad, wasn't it? Like
they got costume design. Set was designed by fucking Ralph McQuarrie himself. Had drew the fucking backdrop and everything. For some fucking Greek tragedy, fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey, apparently.
Like great sequence aside. Don't get me wrong, great sequence aside. When Sydney's like hallucinating all the ghost faces around her because they look similar to those like Greek.
Was
masks.
she hallucinating?
I thought there was one there.
I think there was one there.
Yeah,
I think there was.
And then it almost seems like there was one, and when the one left, then it kind of became like a hallucination type situation where she sees Ghostface in everyone.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't think she was hallucinating. I don't know. I think maybe.
It's a big risk to take, isn't it?
Well, he killed someone in a fucking movie theater.
It's true, yeah.
During a movie.
Then just walks out.
Yeah.
Blood must be pouring down him, but he's like, yeah, whatever.
No, he's Cobb Vanth, he's fine.
He's fine.
I don't know. Maybe it could have been. Maybe it could have been just an episode where she was triggered by something, because the masks were like vaguely Ghostface-ish. So
yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I think it's open, but it's either way. It's cool. It's a good little sequence.
It was cool. I didn't like a boyfriend. I'm glad he died. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he seemed like, you know, the epitome of I'm a good guy. I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah,
seemed like that.
No,
he seemed like what Billy was doing in the first one, but then it was fine because Billy wasn't a good guy, and that was all a smarmy act.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, it was like legitimate, and like he's so innocent, and you got him killed, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll be honest, I'll be over that one soon.
Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Dead. Yeah, exactly. Well, who cares?
Anyway, so Ghostface this time was Cobb Vanth and the reporter woman.
Yeah.
Did you see it coming with either of those?
I saw it coming with Cobb Vanth. But I don't think that's to the movie's detriment. I think it's because Timothy Elephant has a career and a knowable face, and I think I just saw him and then went, "Oh, he's in this," and then subconsciously I was thinking it'd be cool if he was the whole time. I don't know, like that's not on the movie though. The mum, I had no fucking idea. That caught me completely off guard. I thought she was weird.
Yeah, she was.
But
weird,
everyone in this is weird.
Yeah, everyone is weird.
So yeah, that got me. What do you think about that?
What about Billy's mum?
Yeah, about it just kind of being Billy's mum that's back. Because we'd only heard of her, right? We'd never seen her. We'd never seen her before.
I don't think we saw her. No. But then there was that weird thing about like her losing weight or something.
Yeah, she said like, and if we'd never seen her before, the movie wrote itself into a weird corner with that. where it was like, I've seen you in TV reportings and sightings and blah 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 or whatever, and interviews, and then she was like, it's amazing what losing weight and a haircut or something can do. And I'm like, it's not that amazing. What it can do.
Seems weird. It seems like you're weirdly justifying something you don't need to justify.
Yeah. It's amazing what getting some fucking exercise can do. All right, movie. I'm sorry, Wes Craven. Please calm down.
No, fine. I guess it's not the worst thing they could have done.
No, I don't think so.
It's like I guess it was just a kind of a tenuous link, really.
Yeah,
like a little bit weak, really. In terms of just. It's a sequel, so we need a new killer because the first two aren't around anymore. So let's have it be his mum. Maybe I think it was kind of foreshadowed a little bit as well, and maybe this is quite good. I don't know, but it was foreshadowed in like the pretentious film class again when they was talking about like, or was it the film class or the scene where Randy is talking to Dewey? I think it was about who the potential killer could be.
Yeah.
And they're going through movies, and then at one point he says, I think he's talking about Jason, and he says Mrs. Voorhees because she was Jason in one of the movies. Jason's mum was one of the killers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so kind of foreshadowed it there, which was quite interesting.
Yeah, but then everything Randy fucking says is a reference or a something, isn't it? Like, like you'd be like, "Hi, Randy, how are you?" And he'll be like, yeah, "I'm as good as Empire Strikes Back. That's how good I am." All right.
Now he's dead.
Now he's dead, and he can finally rest. Yeah. I wonder who's going to be the main driver of the like. You should never do this in the third movie and a thing like next time.
Yeah. Who is the knowledge of films?
Who's a guy that's watched Star Wars and goes, I could probably catch this murderer if I tried.
Kevin Smith. Put Kevin Smith.
And his tweet. And his lovely tweet about his wife.
He loves his wife.
He does love. That cannot be argued. He does love his wife. Yeah.
Would you watch Stab?
No, it looks bad.
I'd watch it.
I like it. It seems like a fun romp, but like it feels like what the side point. It's a brave choice that the scary movies chose to parody these movies when these movies are making fun of movies that parody these movies.
When I say, and I think I've probably said this in the first one.
Yeah.
When it was in like last year's podcast, when I think that I've seen Scream 2, when I said I thought I saw this movie, I think what I'm thinking of is I probably saw Scary Movie 2.
Yeah, and like and I saw it in that. Yeah.
Yeah, like the moments that are parodied and stuff.
Yeah.
I do remember stuff like that. Like I remember, the beginning when it's the scene in the cinema, and Jada Pinkett Smith's boyfriend goes to the bathroom, and then he has a knife run through his head.
Yeah.
I remember that scene in Scary Movie, but it's a dick that just goes through his head.
Oh god!
Because it's like a glory hole situation kind of thing.
Oh my lord!
So yeah,
that's the height of what those movies are capable of. Sometimes,
yeah, those movies are not good. But as like a fucking 9-year-old or whatever, I was like, this is cinema.
Yeah,
this is great.
That's a dick in his head. Yeah, love it.
I love everything about this.
I remember Vampire Suck being like one of the the last dying breath of a parody genre. And it was parodying Twilight, and I think there's a bit where like they order like some Chinese food or something, and then like the joke is they're gonna eat the guy that delivers it rather than the Chinese food because they're vampires, and I'm pretty sure it's just racist.
Would not put it past.
Yeah.
At all. Of course it is.
Something I love in this, just quickly, is the kind of the implication that both of these movies now have like
was Ken Jeong the delivery guy? I bet it was.
More than likely.
Almost for that era as well, 2011-ish, 2010, 2011.
The only guy capable of playing that,
in a very exaggerated accent.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's likely. It's very likely. Yeah. And if it's not, it's someone just as. Like... one thing I like in this is the kind of implication, because both of these movies now have a murder that takes place seemingly unrelated to the main plot and at the beginning of the movie. I like the fact that this kind of implies Ghostface is out doing a warm up before his real murders
Before
begin.
the big stretch.
Yeah. Because like
Yeah,
they're completely unrelated, and both movies take special point to be like, here I am in Washington D.C. Can you believe those murders that happened down in California? So Ghostface goes on holiday, does one, and goes, yeah, I got it in the bag. Let's go. Let's crack on.
Yeah.
It's like the test. Like, can I get away with this? Oh, I can. Cool. I'm gonna go do the movie now.
I just looked it up on YouTube. It's not Ken Jeong.
Is it not?
No.
Is it anyone of note?
No, it's just some guy.
Some guy, fair enough. I like how I was right though. Like, it's still a racist scene, and I remember that. Good. Yeah. Ultimately, I think
I'm almost sad that we've decided this is our tradition now, because I think much like last year, I just want to watch the others, and I could, but I feel like
I'm keeping it pure. I'm keeping it clean for the pod. Yeah.
Because,
don't
like,
get me wrong.
I've
I wanted
seen-
to.
I know, because I remember seeing the trailer for like the newest one. I think it came out earlier this year. And they do like very much like the beginning of the first one, like the killer calling the house phone. But because it's 2022 and it's a fucking young Gen Z girl, just straight up does not answer it, because why would you?
Who the fuck's this? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can like you should have locked your doors, and then she does it on her phone or something.
Yeah,
I feel like it's an
exactly.
alarm system, dickhead. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that they've updated it, so I want to like see how it all.
So
works out.
I worked this out. Was it? There's 5. I think the recent one that came out was Scream 5.
Yes, but it's just called Scream.
Okay.
Horror movies need to stop doing this.
Yeah.
They need to stop releasing sequels that are just the same name as the original.
Yeah.
Because like the Halloween franchise is so confusing.
Oh,
because
this isn't the
there's-
second. Isn't the
Shut up, because I'm gonna tell you now.
Oh, okay, good.
The first movie, obviously just called Halloween,
Yeah.
came out in like the fucking 70s or whatever. And then it was Halloween 2, Halloween 3, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then they decided to go, now let's get rid of all those sequels. Let's just fucking obliterate them from the canon. And then we'll do a sequel to the original in 2018, but we'll just call it Halloween. So we have Halloween, followed by its immediate sequel, Halloween. And then we have Halloween Kills, and then we have Halloween Ends, or however those work out.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. That's not confusing at all.
Yeah, it's needless, and if there's 5 movies and you need to Google what's the watching order, you fucked up somewhere. you just have.
You did. Yeah.
No, I worked out, because I like you. I watched this, and then I went, I'd quite like to just watch the others now. And I didn't, because I do like the idea of just kind of visiting these once a year and being like, what's this one? What did this one have to offer? But it also does exclude me from, I like these movies, and I'd quite like to see the new ones when they come out. But it's going to be about 5 years before I can enjoy them. So
Maybe we'll get another one in that time. Maybe not.
I think there's been like a logo that's come out. I think that's where you've seen Scream. I think they're just calling it Scream with like an exclamation, 2 exclamation marks or
No,
something.
I think it's Scream. The latest one. I think it's Scream. The latest one is just called Scream.
Was it not Scream 5? I'm sure it was Scream 5. Or maybe that's what people were calling it online to save confusion.
Scream. Yeah, I think so. So Scream 1996, Scream 2 97, Scream 3 2000, Scream 4 2011, Scream 2022, Untitled Scream sequel 2023.
Okay.
But yeah, so Scream 5 is just called Scream.
Big jump between 3 and 4 as well, I noticed.
Yes,
Interesting.
that's true. It was originally just a trilogy, and then I remember when Scream 4 came out. I remember that in 2011 or whatever.
I wonder where Wes Craven drops off. I don't know if he stopped doing them before he passed, or maybe stopped doing them because he wasn't here anymore, or I don't know.
Well, that is something that we can...
That we can know with the power of the internet.
Yeah. Scream 4 directed by Wes Craven.
Okay, so that would have been where he left it.
That would have been the last one that he did.
Anyway, at the start of this, I asked you a question. And what we do, if you jump forward the 10 minutes of nothing at the beginning of the podcast, what we do is I ask Nathan a question. It can be a hypothetical, it can be a yes or a no surrounding the topic of the movie. I ask him, he has the time in which we record, usually about 40 to an hour, to think of his answer. And this week I asked him something that the movie asks. Scream 2 poses this question. That sequels cannot be better than the originals, and planned trilogies are stated not to count towards this. And what is your opinion on that?
So what are you asking me?
Oh, so at the beginning it was all high and mighty. I understand the question. I know the question.
It. I just want you to clarify it.
Okay, for the listeners at home. Basically, I think maybe the second part confuses it. Sequels, here's a blanket statement. Tell me if you agree or disagree, and then your thoughts. Sequels cannot be better than the originals.
Disagree. Of course they can.
Yeah. It's dumb, right? It's a stupid debate.
it's very much a stupid debate. And it's something... I feel like when people talk about franchises and big tentpole movies and series and stuff, something that you'll find a lot is that the best one is always the first one. And people will often say that. Yeah. People will often say that Casino Royale is the best of the James Bond, the Daniel Craig James Bond movies. Iron Man is the best of the MCU. The first, because that's what kicked it off. You wouldn't have what came later without what you had then. Yeah. And I'm like,
it's the jumping point for it.
Yeah, but stuff can still be better than it.
Yeah.
Like, just because you wouldn't have what came later doesn't mean that's the only reason why it isn't. I think Deadpool 2 is better than Deadpool 1.
Yeah, fair.
I lost what I'm saying.
No, I think
the idea that the first one can be the best, can only be the best, is dumb.
Things get better as they go on. When I was a baby, I was shit at most things.
And you still are.
but I'm a little bit better, and thus my point still lands. Yeah, I think it's a stupid debate, and then
the weird thing about sequels don't count. Well, the trilogies don't count.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, they do.
They've taken a dumb debate, and at least they were stood firmly on a side of the fence. But then they just threw a spanner in it with like trilogies don't count. Like, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Are you saying they don't count in terms of, are they not sequels, or like if
Empire Strikes Back is a sequel to A New Hope?
Yeah,
like it is.
It is, and also, does that mean technically A New Hope can't be a good movie, or at least has a cap on its quality because it's still part of a sequel, even though it's the first?
No,
it's dumb.
It's just weird self-imposed rules.
Yeah,
which mean nothing.
My point is, as much as I like him as a character, I'm glad Randy's dead.
This is why all film students need to die.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Oh, no.
Ghostface was right. Ghostface was right. He was doing as a service.
Yeah.
All film students need to die.
So Scream 3, hopefully, would just be him eradicating every film class. And they're like, it's all connected.
One can only hope.
Here, fingers crossed.
If not, I'm going to make Scream 7, I guess. And it's just going to be me as Ghostface just killing
but you're actually
killing
them
film
all.
Students. Yeah.
It's a documentary, My Life as Ghostface.
Yeah.
Brackets the culling of the film students. Yeah, that's good.
Ghostface with just a GoPro on his chest. Just stabbing everyone.
Isn't there a movie called like Hardcore Henry or something that is just a GoPro to a man?
Yeah, it's a movie which is just, for some reason, they made a movie where, we should do it actually, where it's just entirely in first person perspective, like a video game, and it's just the worst viewing experience you could possibly imagine.
And boring, right? Surely.
Not necessarily.
Is he talking to people and we're just looking at their chest?
No, because it's mostly just dumb action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's bad.
Fair enough. I never watched
and
also,
it. Also, it'll make you feel sick.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Right. Thank you if you've listened to the whole of the our second Halloween special. Next year we're very excited.
It's actually our third Halloween special.
What was our first one?
Us.
It was.
Yeah.
Nah, forget
Yeah.
that one. It's not part of the thing.
It's the second of the proper traditional ones.
Don't worry about that one.
Yeah.
I forgot. I literally forgot about it until right now. I think that's what, like episode 5 or something. It's really
very
early
early
on
because
yeah.
we started in like September or something. So
Yeah, and we were like, let's have a special. We hadn't earned that right. Right, thank you for listening. So yeah, next year we'll be doing Scream 3, but next
join
week.
us next year.
Join us next year. No, next year we're doing Scream 3, but next week we're going to be doing this.
And the blood of the dragon runs thick.
Then why do you cut me so deep?
I've only ever spoken the truth. I see Otto Hightower for what he is.
An unwavering and loyal
A
hand.
cunt!
So that will be a good time. That'll be a fun, joyous experience. Yeah, if you like this, you can also come over to our social medias. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on... what else are we on? We're on Twitter. That's the other one. At Another Happy Pod. And also you can give us a review.
We might
if you
not be on
enjoyed it.
Twitter for much longer though, because maybe the whole platform's going down the drain. Who knows?
Yeah, it depends.
Just depends on, something might have happened in the last week. I don't know if you watched the news, but
No. Who knows? If
Don't
you
worry
can
about
get
it.
us more followers than that's your listeners' job. Get us more followers than Elon Musk. We'll buy Twitter and turn it into another happy Twitter,
another happy Twitter.
another happy tweet.
We only need at least $44 billion.
We're gonna do it. No, we'll take it from him. Once we've got more followers, we'll take it from him. It's ours now. It's a website. I own it. You gonna tell me I don't?
Yeah, that's not how things work.
I'm gonna get it.
Legally, you do not own it.
No,
I can tell you that.
I'm gonna get it, Nathan. I don't like this quitter talk. All right, if you're gonna be a business partner in this, you need to be on board. You can give us a review. Give us a little 5-star review if you maybe your platform allows it. Maybe you can do it in app. If not, maybe just let us know what you think. Drop on by the social medias. Give us your thoughts. Unless you're going to be mean, in which case please don't do that. We wouldn't appreciate it.
We cannot take it. We do not have thick skin.
No, yeah, we'll probably just doubt our abilities, and then you'll watch as the episodes slowly fizzle out.
Yeah.
And that's how that will go. But yes, we will see you next week. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
And don't forget to click right here and get stuck on that.
I like it when you do it. I do.
I don't.